A targeted investigation looks at where your money goes when you buy medicine at the pharmacy. It might not go where you expect. KMUH's Caroline Peterson is here to uncover the details of the dollars you could choose not to be spending on health care.
It's an issue that has sparked national attention. Some people are paying extra for some of the most commonly prescribed drugs, oftentimes generic medication.
Right, and one news outlet in New Orleans investigates why some patients are getting charged more for their meds.
And since the story aired, there have been multiple lawsuits all over the country against some insurance companies. I looked at what is happening here in Missouri, and we found we aren't much different. It seems routine, going to the pharmacy, picking up a prescription.
And I think it's important for patients to know that they need to advocate for themselves at times.
When you pick up your meds, you usually pay a copay, which is a type of payment where your insurance company pays a portion of the cost and you pay the rest. But what is going on behind the counter that pharmacists are not legally allowed to tell you about? Chances are you won't know what's happening.
You should be just very aware of what you're paying and why.
KMUH received dozens of documents from Missouri pharmacists showing, in some cases, insurance companies are upcharging you for some of the most commonly prescribed medications.
Better examples.
Pharmacists call it a clawback.
Clawback is typically a patient is charged a specific fee based on their insurance company, and they pay that copay, and then the pharmacist provides a service. Problem is, some of the copays are exceeding what the actual cash price of the drug is.
The most common insurance company in the documents, Cigna. Here's just one example. A patient paid about a $68 copay for their generic ADHD medication. The cash price, if you don't use insurance, is about $50. But with patients paying the copay, Cigna actually pocketed nearly $22 from the customer and pharmacy as a clawback. The pharmacy benefit manager, or PBM, is the middleman between the insurance company and the pharmacy. They set the prices.
It appears that a good part of the clawback that's going back to the PBM is the burden of the patient.
It's actually a higher cost for the patient than if they just went ahead and paid cash for the product.
Cigna has its own PBM, while another insurance company in our documents, Catalyst RX, goes through another. Here's an example from Catalyst. A doctor prescribed this medicine to treat a bacterial infection. The copay was about $67. But the pharmacist says they sell this drug for $19 cash. The patient could have paid about 4 times less money than they did, while the PBM walked away with $58. Pharmacists are required to collect the copay. But then,
Pharmacy benefit manager comes in and grabs that difference between what the patient actually paid, their copay, and what they reimbursed the pharmacist.
Here's another example of a clawback on generic Tamiflu. This patient paid a copay of $115, and the cash price for this drug is roughly $85. The customer could have saved $30. When it comes to the patient and pharmacy, nobody seems to win. Can you tell a patient that they have a lower option if they don't ask?
We are not supposed to.
Contracts with certain companies restrict them from doing so.
We are trained to say, hey, if they ask, if the patient asks, hey, let's see what your cash price is. But until that point, we are not supposed to mention it.
You know, they have to do it based on what the insurance company dictates. Our feeling is the patient at least ought to have that information, but pharmacists cannot share it.
I reached out to Cigna and Optum RX, which is the PBM associated with Catalyst. Cigna responded saying, in part, quote, a pharmacy should charge Cigna customers the lowest price available under their plans. We encourage pharmacists to share all options with customers as they struggle to manage the rising costs of prescription drugs. Optum did not respond. Right now, Missouri has a House bill addressing this issue. It would stop the clawback practice as well as allow pharmacists to be transparent with you about your options. There are currently 12 other states with bans on clawbacks, gag orders, or both. And we want to hear about your experiences. If you found a difference in your drug prices by paying without insurance or feel you have paid more than you should, KMU wants to know about it. Share your story with us by email, Facebook, or visit our website at KOMU.com. On our web store, you can also view a list of common medications associated with clawbacks. In the studio, Caroline Peterson, KOMU 8 News.